What's up, world? It's your boy Drew with DGI, Drew Got Info. Thanks for joining me again today. If you like, subscribe to my page. Make sure you hit the bell so you won't miss any of my latest content, my latest info. I'm going to be covering a lot of info. Today, we're going to be talking about purchasing a car. A lot of us at some point, after our young days, we get to a point where we have to buy our own car, or maybe, right out of high school, or, you have to buy your own car. So today we're going to discuss things to look for and really just how to buy a car the right way without feeling like you spent too much or feeling like you got taken advantage of. And this is, based on my personal experience. Feel free, in the comments if y'all have any other type of experiences or any other suggestions that you guys feel that I left out or anything. Feel free to, put it in the comments and, let's continue the discussion. So the first thing I want to say is when you are trying to buy a car, the first thing you want to do is do your homework. You want to do your research. You want to know or have an idea of a couple of cars you might be interested in, or it might not be a couple. It might just be one or two. But try to narrow your results down with one or two options at least. Give you something to pick and choose from, or even if it's just one thing you set on, then go for it, or at least have something else to make sure that you're interested in the right car. So you want to plan, you want to do your homework, as in knowing like what kind of car you want. And when I say do your homework, I don't mean just look for the car you want and the features. I mean like look up the car. I like to use a website called Car Complaints. It lists results from people who've had different type of car experiences, whether it be battery or engine or transmission, anything car related. People use their website to put complaints about the car, and they rate the cars based on complaints. So once I discovered that, I like to go on there before I buy a car and make sure I'm buying something that's legit. Let me see what people saying about it. Let me see what the rating is. Let me see what is rated to the I forgot what the name of the industry is. I guess the JD Power industry. So you definitely want to plan, do your research, just go in with a game plan. The second thing is, once you do get to a dealership or used dealer, however you buying your car, don't just let them run your credit. A lot of them will try to run your credit, before you even do a test drive. You don't want to do that, because once you did that, they pretty much know they got you. So I'm not trying to just tell their game, but we're trying to practice safe buying tips, and we're trying to buy the smart way. So don't let them influence you to run your credit knowing you ain't decided what you wanted yet, or you hadn't at least made up your mind that you're for sure gonna get this. So don't let them run your credit, because once they run your credit, if you know how credit history goes, or if you don't know how credit history goes, when somebody runs your credit, that's a hard inquiry. So you don't want to go to this place and run your credit, then go to another place and run your credit, then go to another place and run your credit, all in the same day or the same week or in the same 30 days, not in the same time frame, because it takes a couple of months or it takes a while for those to roll off. And if you go to 2 car lots today and do 2 hard inquiries, let them run your credit, they're both going to hit at the same time, and they're going to drastically affect your credit score. So be aware of that. You can test drive a car without running your credit score. They try to fill you out, once you get out the car. So they'll try to hit you with that. Let me run your credit, because they know once they run their credit, then they pretty much going to get you to buy some type of car from them. Or if you know about credit and you do slip and let them run your credit, then you're not going to want to go anywhere else and run your credit again, especially when you're in the process of buying. So be careful. Only let them run your credit if you're going to finance through them, but don't jump the gun on it. Make sure you made up your decision about that. Third thing, let's talk about down payments. Down payments is something that, can help you pay off a car faster. It can help you pay off anything faster if they allow you to do it. But a down payment could be money that you really keep in your pocket, especially if you didn't need it. Like if your credit score is decent, pretty good, a lot of times you're not gonna have to, pay a down payment. Now you can always pay a down payment. Now, unfortunately, if you have to, pay the down payment because that's knocking some off, off your price. My thing with down payments is, and I learned this during my car buying process, is I was wanting to, pay a down payment, and my credit score is actually pretty good. And I bought my Jeep, and I went in there and got qualified easily. Well, for one, that's why I messed up. I let them run my credit. Shouldn't have. I really hadn't made up my mind yet. And then for two, I was in there like, man, I'm going to put some money down too. I'm going to knock the payment down. Let me tell you, it take a lot to knock down the payment because you got the principal plus the interest. So you could be like, I'm putting $2,000 down. Let me tell you, that ain't enough to have an effect on your payments. Or $2,000-3,000. Like, you really got to put down a lot for it to really affect your payments. It's not really, a down payment ain't doing too much. So if you do think about doing a down payment, make sure that's something that you do from the jump, like in the planning stage. Make sure you have that organized and you have this set up where you can do that and whatnot, and just be ready to go, when dealing with something like that. So be careful with down payments because let me tell you, that extra money that you got, you just keep it in your pocket and, get something else done to your car, customize it in some type of way, once you get the car. But you don't need a down payment. If they don't tell you you're going to have to pay a down payment, I wouldn't pay it. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you think about, paying the car down faster, whatever you finance it, if you're not paying cash for whatever you finance, if you do a 3-year or 5-year, let's say the car's $30,000, you pay down $5,000 thinking, oh, it's gonna be $25,000. You still got, on a 5-year plan, you still got 60 payments to pay. So you're still gonna pay the same as the other person that did a 5-year plan too. So just be aware of that. Next thing is what I would recommend is letting your bank. Let your bank take care of you. I wouldn't even let a dealership. I would go and pick out what I want, then go see what I qualify for, with my bank, because I feel like your bank or your credit union is going to have the best interest rates. So that's why I was saying, earlier, don't let the dealership run your credit, because I feel like you buy through the bank, you will make your payments to the bank. That way, you didn't risk financing through a dealership, which eventually, or a year or two after you bought the car, they change owners or they go out of business, and that could affect your payments. That has happened to people before. So you want to make sure for sure that, if you can, let your bank, finance you. Now, if you hadn't been with them that long, interest rates might not be that good, or they might not be that interested in, giving you that much money. But that's the only time that I will let the dealership finance me. Other than that, let your bank give you that check. Take yourself back to the dealership and get what you want. So today, I put this video out because there's a lot of videos out there about the car buying process, but they beat around the bush, or they're not straight to the point, or they just saying whatever. This right here is from my personal experience. Do your homework. You'll see what I'm saying. Go out there and just look before you actually buy and see how the salesman, approach you. And, they try to kind of press you, especially women. So I definitely want my women to be careful when buying a car, because you want to get the car you want, but you want to feel comfortable about it. And that's just all I'm about. I'm about, getting what I want, but getting it on my terms, on my means, how I want it, because I'm the one that's going to have to pay for it. So you definitely want to be smart about it. Thanks again, guys. This is your boy Drew with DREWGOTINFO. Stay tuned. More content on the way. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you send me an email about more content. at DREWGOTINFO@gmail.com. Peace.